The fate of residents of the Wallaceville area of High River is still very much up in the air. Some residents want out, others don't want to leave. One of those is former councillor Jamie Kinghorn, who says he wants to stay but doesn't know what his next step is because the town is looking at the possibility of having the province declared a floodplain and buying out residents, returning the area to its natural state.
I'm sitting on a fence. I've done a ton of work to my house. We are fully prepared to rebuild the house because we're not on floodway. We're flood fringe, and under the policy, we were going to do what it took to do and qualify and do all those good things. Now we're sitting on the fence. We have no idea what to do. And we don't know when we're going to know what we're going to do.
Another resident who's been left in limbo is Rachel Eskrick. She and her husband had just finished renovating what she calls her dream home when the flood hit. She says right now she just wants to know what's going to happen one way or the other.
Some days we want to be back in here. Some days we just want them to make a decision. It's a disaster. The whole neighborhood's a disaster, and they're not making any decisions. So we thought we were going ahead like everybody else. They said they weren't offering any buyouts unless you're in a floodway. We're not in a floodway, so we went ahead. We've started doing these renovations again, and now they're telling us we might bulldoze the whole neighborhood.
High River Mayor Craig Snodgrass says the town is exploring all their options at this time, something he says should have been done in the early stages of the recovery.
What we're doing today, to be honest, should have been done 3 or 4 months ago to explore all options for that neighborhood, but it wasn't done. It was just, no, we're going to keep Wallaceville and that's it.
For Eskrick, it's a case of too little too late.
We stopped unpacking. We've told our contractor not to bother to come back anymore. Like, what are we supposed to do? Just keep living like this? We put every penny we have into this house, and we can't even live down here.
Fellow resident Victor Dick says his anger over the situation comes from what he says is a lack of communication with all levels of government.
If they're discussing this, you would think, okay, well, maybe they should come around and tell the people out here to put a stop on their work and tell them what exactly they're doing, not just expect them to hear it through the grapevine.
Snodgrass says everyone will get their chance to put in their 2 cents.
We have to make the right decisions for High River and the whole community. And this is part of making those decisions right, is to find out all of your options, have all the right information. It will be presented to that community. There will be an open house and everything else, and everybody can discuss it. And then we'll make the final decision on how we're going to go. But right now, this option must be explored.
High River's Associate Minister for Recovery and Reconstruction, Rick Fraser, says the province can't dictate what happens in Wallaceville and have to respond to what the town is doing.
I mean, it's up for the town and up to them to make the decision on where they want to see Wallaceville wind up. And so as they have discussions with their residents and have discussions with us, we're just simply, open to that conversation. We're reviewing some of the ideas that they've put towards us. As we take a look at that, we'll continue to work with the town on the outcomes.
Highwood MLA Danielle Smith, while very sympathetic to the plight of residents, says all options need to be explored, but it needs to happen right away.
If they can properly do some of the assessments to see where the water would go, to see whether or not actually making that area a floodway would protect large parts of the town, because it seems to be where the water naturally wants to go. There may be some value in pressing the province to do a reevaluation and be able to make sure that those homeowners are taken care of. But the fact is, they have to have these answers quickly.
Standing in the half-finished shell of his home, I asked Victor Dick what he would do if he was the one making the decisions.
Stick with the guns, stick with your promises, do the flood mitigation stuff. Help people get back into their house. People have accepted at this point already what's going to happen. Just why keep changing the policy? Why do you want to keep giving people all this aggravation?